check in. If you could drop in where you're checking in from, what time it is where you are. It's 4:30 here on the East Coast. We're up. We are out. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Very well this morning. It is definitely a cold morning over here on the East Coast. 29 degrees down here in the DMV. But we're out. We're doing our walk. We are making sure that we are starting our day with intention, being blessed and direct, making sure today is about communication. We're gonna do communication today. We're gonna talk about communication. We are gonna make sure we're talking and sharing and building in the space of communication. It's a leadership competency. Remember here, what we cover is discipline and leadership competencies, leadership skills, specific leadership abilities that allow for us to grow our family, our wealth, to grow in our potential, to become stronger, to become better, to become more. Understanding that our personal development requires for us to take actions with intention and to live in our purpose and understand our responsibilities, understand our purpose and our direction. And as always, I'm here to encourage you that everything that you look to do with your life, all of the things that you believe are possible, all the things that you hope are possible are indeed so. They just require for you to start taking those steps. Communication is such a big part of that process because communication brings about clarity. Communication is how we share our vision. So we need to be able to communicate in a way so that those who we're communicating with know what we're saying, they know why we're saying it, they understand where it's coming from and what the direction is. So good morning, and God bless people. Welcome to another beautiful day. We are here, top of the hill, as we do every morning. We come up, get to the top of the hill, take in this beautiful skyline before the sun rises. Here we are, guys. Welcome to the morning, people. Welcome to the day. Wonderful. Wonderful. May God bless us with another beautiful day, another wonderful morning. Look at that moon out. Thank you for being here, guys. As always, Alex, good morning. You haven't been to bed. Alex, where are you checking in from? What time is it where you are? We do have a lot of people checking in from different places. Where are you checking in from, Alex? What time is it? Let me know. Have you been to work? Have you been working? Are you about to go to bed? Is it the middle of the day? This is 4:30 a.m. here. 4:30. Yeah, man. 4:36. So you're in this East Northern Virginia. Okay. So you're in the DMV. So you know how cold it is out here. Where you at? Work, man? You've been working. Where you working at today? What type of work you doing? Are you almost done? Are you almost ready to go home and head to bed? All right, Mr. Todrich. What's that question? So you're going to see to what? I don't know. I can't figure that one out. I'm not sure you're in the right chat. I don't know. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here again. Welcome in. We are at our 4:30 walk and talk. Thank you for stopping in. Again, my name is Oloropo. It's always a pleasure to have you guys here. This is your morning walk and talk, or for Alex, this is your evening or your end of day walk and talk for encouragement, motivation, and continued improvement, guys. We're always here to speak positively, share positively, and seek out our purpose. We continue to grow and develop, understanding that we are here for a purpose and a reason. And right now, this reason today is community. That was a joke. I saw it. It took me a second to read it, but I got what you were saying. Hey, Fatima, you're new here, San Antonio. It's all about growth and development. What we do here at BNV Finance Fixers is really simple. We are focused on personal growth, development, understanding our purpose, and doing so and achieving this by sharing the principles and the power of the discipline dividend, and also understanding how leadership competencies with that discipline allows for us to grow in every area of our life. I put finance fixers in the name specifically because for most people, we end up having conversations specifically about finance with the people who I work with, the people who I consult with, the people who I train and guide. All of that usually ends up in that space, whether it's a relationship, whether it's with work, whether it's in personal life, whether it's with health. We usually end up finding out if you make a change in one of these areas, it normally impacts multiple. So if you make a change in your diet, it normally impacts your relationships. You make a change in your finances, it's going to also make a change in your diet. They're different. All of these things require the same thing. They require the leadership skill sets, competencies of self-awareness, and self-accountability, and then the focus on discipline. So great to have you here. Thank you for stopping in. Please stick around, spend some time. You can check in as well on the page. You can like and subscribe there. But thank you for being here this morning. In series, I'm not sure what that's saying. Is that Spanish? Bro, there's a Bigfoot over there in the woods. Tell him what I say, man. I don't have to worry about my back. God's got my back always. But thank you for giving me the shout out on the Bigfoot. Joel, and then Alex, we say already home, about to crash. I sell stuff on eBay. Way to go, man. Mostly movies. All right, so you were up grinding movies on eBay. Keep up, keep at it, man. That's your hustle. That's what I'm talking about. How did it go last night? Your country name. Okay, I'll take that. Bruce, good morning, Bruce. Welcome in. Thank you for being here today, Bruce. Neek, do you walk every morning? I do indeed. All components are of a symbiotic nature. Correct. That's how we build, from one thing builds on another. I do this every morning, 4:30 to 5. This walk at 4:30 to 5 is a personal endeavor. It's something that I added specifically to my life to help me grow in a way that I needed to develop. I needed to find a time where I could focus on my daily task, my growth, go back and think through on this walk. I think through the things that I'm working on, the things that I have worked on, the things that are important, refocus on my purpose, making sure that I am understanding my purpose and why I'm taking the actions that I'm taking. And I decided that as part of this process, I would love to bring you guys in. I would love to take an opportunity as I'm focusing and I'm motivating and I'm encouraging myself in the morning to also take this opportunity to do it with others. This is a pretty tight 30 minutes, guys. I come on to share, no matter whether it's in the morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you guys, just to be on here and doing this walk, to be able to share, hey, I understand we all have a vision. Most of us have a vision for our life, but then there's a matter of figuring out how to get there. I'm not going to do a lot of talk about specific ways to invest your money or what to do with your money, because most of it's pretty simple. Like, a lot of it doesn't require for us to be geniuses. It requires for us to be disciplined. It requires for us to be dedicated. And what that means is, you need to spend less money than you make. That's step one. So in order for us to do that, we simply have to make the decision with our actions to do that, to make that change, to take those actions. Nick, I asked because I was just thinking to get up, out and walk while you walking. Well, let's get up, let's go. Come on, get up, let's get out, let's go for the walk. It's a quick 30-minute walk. I'm here to encourage. And the thing about it is, you don't have to think about it. You no longer have to say, I'm trying to get up in the morning and go for a walk. You just get up in the morning and you go for the walk. And the thing about it is, once you do that, whether it's for health, whether it's for personal development, whether it's for thought, once you start to do something, guys, you no longer have to say, I'm trying to do something. That first time you do it, you're doing it. And now we're just looking for the repetition. We don't have to go 8 miles every morning. We don't have to try to get the furthest distance in the world. You just get up. If you do it once you've done it once, you're doing it. You're not trying to do it anymore. And the thing about it is, this is what you're doing. It is important to understand that when you communicate to yourself, today we're talking about communication. When you communicate to yourself, it has the same edifying, motivating, and vision sharing capability as it does when you speak to others. And so if we work in a space where we are leaders in our family, in our communities, in our jobs, and our communication responsibilities are to share the vision and get others aligned with the goal, then we may step out, we may do that, but we have to also do the same thing with ourselves, right, guys? So when we start doing that, when we start communicating with ourselves, self-communication is very, very important, because we have a tendency of being able to share with others and explain to others and identify capabilities and greatness in others, while in ourselves, we have this doubt. We have this inability to do the same. So, Neek, let's go ahead and get up. Let's get out here. Let's do this walk together. B&V, do you still sell? All right, come on, Lewis, man. Alex, going pretty well. My father was a film critic. All right. Awesome. What you planning to do with the money? Are you looking to invest that? Are you looking to do some other things? Do you have a vision for it? It sounds like you do have a plan. And then Amtrak, what's up, man? I'm actually out, so I'm out late for Alex, but I'm out early for me. It's a part of my walk and talk. It's a part of my life, man. Thank you for being here this morning. Hey, guys, thank you for stopping in. Please remember, as you stop in, drop in where you're checking in from. Let me know where you are, what time it is where you are. Alex let me know that he's been up all night and he's about to go to bed. So it's good to know that you guys are here, whether it's the start of your day or end of your day. Literally been wanting to take early morning walks around 4:30 or 9. Pick a time, either one, whichever one. And here's the thing, pick the one that you can do. Pick the one that you can do and then work towards the other one, right? Superintendent, I make $230,000 a year. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for stopping in. Who's that? Night? I appreciate you stopping in, man. Thank you for sharing. Hope you drop the thumbs up, guys. Let me know where you're checking in from and what time it is. Awesome. Thank you very much for the sub, Nick. All right, and then Amtrak, he said, Alex. Yes, Alex said his dad did pass away. He was a USA Today film critic. And then we have Lewis. Serious question. All right. Lewis, what's your serious question? I'll see if I can find it. We're from None of Your Business. Is that located just outside of Topeka? I'm currently walking. Thank you for being on. Hey, Adam the Ghost, good morning. How are you doing, Alex? All right, which is a Vanguard, but I have no clue how to invest or anything. It was doing very well until all this stuff. Okay, take a look at it, man. Talk to some professionals about it. Keep in mind that usually things that you have invested into securities, they're going to have changes, they're going to fluctuate, they're going to go up and down, but you don't want to ignore them. You do want to make sure you're talking to some professionals, kind of figuring out some of the things that are out there. I don't believe anything happens by accident, but we can't bury our hand in the sand. So I don't have a particular specialty in financial investments. I do know you do want to make sure you're investing. My one focus, the one thing that I do focus on, is investing in stocks that provide a dividend and investing in companies that what I learned from the crash of the collapse of the market and too big to fail was that you do want to invest in companies that the government is so invested in, they're not going to let them fail. The one thing we learned from that is that if they pay a dividend and the United States isn't going to let them fail, you're going to be able to get a degree of your money back. You're going to be able to work within that space. Good morning, Kyle. And then night. I can't risk my career talking here. Educated teacher that apply for, okay. Thank you very much for coming in, Night. Thank you for sharing. That's awesome advice for those of us who are out there. The great thing and the big thing about all of this, guys, is whether you're looking to become an investor or a superintendent, no matter what you're looking to do in your life, it's going to require the same types of actions. It's going to require discipline. It's going to require an understanding. But keep in mind that the whole world, everything in life isn't driven by the same thing for the same people. Not everybody wants the same thing. Some people would rather have peace and would rather have the ability to spend their time with loved ones, which is why I'm not here to tell you what you need to do to become me. I'm not here to tell you what you need to do in order to be more like anyone else. I'm just here to share with you some simple principles on discipline, some very simple principles on leadership skill sets, how to be focused on your life, how to understand how to attack your life and find the best life for you, how to find happiness, wealth, and richness within that space. I do not act like money is not important. We do understand that money has a place. Money is what we use to pay our bills. But what's most important, guys, no matter how much money you make, is the mental capacity to be the person deserving of the life that you want to create for yourself. That's what's important, guys. And so we need to make sure we're working on ourselves as hard as we're working on our jobs. I'll always say that. Guys, if you're just stopping in, please do me a favor. Let me know where you're checking in from, what time of day it is. If you could drop a thumbs up in the chat, I'd also appreciate that, guys. Just to let me know that you're here, that I'm being able to connect with you guys. And I'd love to see you guys here. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Who do we have there? Kyle. Awesome. Night. Thank you, Night. Yes, indeed. Yes, in regards to your father passing. So you say you were upselling. How long ago did your father pass, Alex? And then we have Wuro, where are you checking in from? Ryan. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ryan. How are you doing this morning? Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for being a part of the walk your talk this morning. We're here to encourage and inspire one another. And so we would like to make sure we're doing so in a way that's always positive, always uplifting, guys. It's a pleasure to have you here. As I said before, our focus here is going to always be on growth, development. Milwaukee, good morning. New York City, is that Waru? Yes. Uchame. Doobie doobie doo. Thumbs up. Good morning, doobie doobie doo. Thank you everyone for being here. Up, there we go. And every once in a while, my goodness, what's happening this morning? Is the cold freaking out my camera? Let's see if it, there we go. All right, so as I was saying, guys, this morning's walk and talk is all about communication, right? The importance of communication, the importance to be able to communicate to ourselves and others. Communication is a significant skill set. The power of communication is the ability to be able to convey a vision, the ability to be able to share with others purpose, knowledge, and understanding, right? And so communication as a particular skill set, both in our lives and in the lives of others, is something we want to work on. But we have to understand that in order to be able to communicate, it's a two-way street. It's not just the words we say. It's just not just how we speak to others, but it's what we hear. It's how we hear, how we connect, and then how we're able to share out through that. It's very impactful in our lives, definitely in our health. It's impactful in our relationships. We have Brandon. Yes, up early. We are up early. We're out here. It's 4:30. Thank you for stopping in, for being here. Right, but a lot of time keeping communication simple and easy is key. It's always simple and easy, right? We want to always make sure it's simple and it's easy, right? And so I understand what you're saying, Mr. Boston. That's why I always say that what's rich to everyone isn't the same thing, which is why I prefer to use the term wealth, because wealth is about freedom of time, right? What wealth is really about is the ability to spend your time with the people who you care about most when you want to, right? And where you want to. That's what that is about. The monetary part about it is simply because there are services that you'll have to pay for. Hey, LSJ, good morning, welcome in. Thanks for being here this morning. So communication should be simple, right? It should be straightforward. There are people who speak very eloquently. There are people who have beautiful words, you know, those, I don't have a lot of those 5-syllable words to work with, but the focus is the same, right? What we communicate, here's one of the things that I found out, and it's helped me a lot in my marriage, is what I say, right? What I say doesn't matter as much as what my wife heard, right? You have to make sure when you're communicating, especially when you're trying to drive home a vision, especially when you're trying to motivate, when you're trying to lead, what we say, what we share is important, but what's heard and what's received is even more important, because there are different ways that people look to communicate. But when it comes to your words, you want your words to be edifying and you want them to be uplifting and you want them to be reassuring. And that's a major part of how we want to address things. I want everything that I do want when I don't think about comes naturally. It'll be 2 years this summer when he passed, but I'm falling asleep. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for checking in, Alex. You can always reach out right on the channel. Inside the bio, if you want to get in touch with us directly, you can contact us with the email that's there in the bio. We'd love to hear from you, anything you'd like to check in on. And thank you for being a part of the stream. You have a good day's sleep. Having a meeting in 5 minutes. I'll be back. We'll see you in a few minutes, Empress. Thank you very much for that. Who is that, Liren? That's true. Thank you, Mr. Boston. You become what you think the most about. So here's the thing, Mr. Boston. I'm a believer, and it's more than what you think the most about. It requires some action. And I understand what you're saying, and I agree. Where your thoughts go, usually your actions will follow, right? But this is why we discuss discipline so much here. This is why I encourage Neek to get up and start taking a walk. This is why I share with people the difference between choices and decisions. What you think about, right? You can think about a lot of things. A lot of people think about being wealthy all the time, right? A lot of people think about changing their lives. A lot of people think about their fitness, right? Thought is the catalyst, right? That imagination is where it starts. Then there has to be a communication. The communication of that vision. We were talking, I believe yesterday in the evening, I was on a talk and a gentleman was talking about the life that he wanted to live. And he had this perfect vision, and he felt like because he was pursuing perfection, that it was the thing that was keeping him from finding success. But you have to be able to communicate the vision, and then you have to be able to create the path. There is a point where you can think, but you have to act. You have to start to take action, because you can choose anything, and choices are limited. Choices are the things that are usually controlled by those outside of you, right? They're controlled by limiting factors. Meditation is about emptying the mind. Everyone is on their own road. Everyone is on their own road. Meditation is definitely about clearing the mind and opening yourself up. There's even science that shows in the first few minutes of you being awake, your subconscious is most susceptible to being taught and trained to do things differently, to think differently, to see a vision differently. All of these things are true. But what's important is you can think and meditate on what you want, but you need to take action. You can focus on it. And this is what discipline is about. This is what being self-aware, and this is what being accountable is about. When we think about things, when we say, hey, I'm choosing to eat better, right? Like I just said with Neek, you don't have to try to eat better. You don't. All you have to do is start making a better decision. And when you start, that better decision isn't the choice to say, oh, I want to eat less ice cream. I want to eat less sugar. You just eat less ice cream. You just choose celery over sausages. You make that choice. You're no longer saying I'm trying to eat better. You are eating better. It's on the behavior, right? Now, this isn't taking anything away from the thought, because we do have to think. Thinking is self-talk, right? Thinking is how we communicate with ourselves. It's how we make sure that we understand our direction and our path, where we're headed. We do need to be able to have this communication with ourselves. But we also need to understand that what's important here is that we actually take action. So I thought for a while, I'll let you know in my own personal experience, a lot of what I've been through in my life dealt with thinking. I remember as a personal trainer, when I was speaking with the clients in my class about all the different ways that they could be profitable as personal trainers by getting their licenses, sharing information, and then being able to sell products directly to their clients. And I talked about this. And this is when I was much younger. And then one of my clients simply said to my face, so why aren't you doing it? Hey, listen, that's a wake-up call. That's a wake-up call, because I was in the position that I was telling them to get into and to do something, and I wasn't doing that thing, right? This is why behaviors and actions are so important, right? This is why what we do is so important. 8-story building, 2 houses, and 2 kids, a car. Okay, awesome, a lovely life, Mr. Boston. I'm happy for you. Opportunity does not knock. It must be seized. That's the action that I'm talking about. These are great motivational quotes. Everyone is on their own road. You're absolutely right. And you, if anything, and this is one of the things that I'm talking about, Mr. Boston, pleasure doesn't lead to suffering because you're living a pleasurable life now, right? When you talk about your life, when you talk about the things that you have, when you talk about the buildings you have and the ability to care for your family and the ability to go and spend the time with the people you love, that is pleasure. Let's not demonize pleasure. Let's not demonize or criticize enjoying our lives no more than we're going to demonize the rich. This is why communication is important, because what we communicate, we need to make sure we're being clear. I had a gentleman who I was speaking with yesterday who specifically had an issue where his girlfriend's family monthly were coming to him, bringing chaos into his life so that he could provide support for them and pay their bills. And they didn't come to him and ask him for money. They just brought chaos around him until he paid for his own peace, right? And my original thought, my original statement to him was, stop. Let's not assume that these people are doing this to hurt you, right? This could have been their life before they met you, right? Just because someone is doing something to take care of themselves doesn't mean that that action is designed to hurt you. So what does that mean for us? That means that we can't judge. We shouldn't start from a place of judgment. We shouldn't start from a place of telling others, you have to live how I live. I'm sharing with you pointers and principles, things that you can choose to apply to your life. And if you do so, take a look for yourself. Take a look for yourself what happiness is. Not everybody wants the responsibility of owning multiple properties. Some people would love to go. My wife just spoke to me. My wife just wants to go camping. That's it. She wants to take a tent. She wants to get out. She wants to go camping. And she wants to hang out for about 2 nights just camping. No bear hunting, no wild safaris, just go camping. Why is this important? It's different for different people. She doesn't want a 9-person tent hooked up to a back of an RV. She doesn't want the glamping. I think that's what they call it. She wants me and her and a couple of sleeping bags in the tent, spending the night out up under the stars. It's different for different people. And so for that reason, it's important, right? For you, it's sailing. And so for you, you are going to focus on, hey, let me find my pleasure. There's no, do you have pleasure when you sail? Do you have happiness? Are you at peace? Do you enjoy yourself? It took action. It took more than just thought. You had to be able to create the vision. You had to communicate the vision to yourself, and then you had to take action in order to achieve it. And this is what I'm sharing, guys. I'm not here to tell you what your life should look like. I'm not here to tell you what you have to do in order to get there. I do know this. It starts with you. It doesn't matter what the goal is. Doesn't matter how much money you want to make. Doesn't matter what job you want to do. It starts with us. The first thing that we have to do is we have to understand and decide what our purpose is. The next thing we have to do after we figure out what our purpose is we have to do an investment into ourselves. We have to start to understand the areas of ourselves that we need to invest in so that we can know the purpose and the path that we're traveling. Part of that journey should be enjoyable. We should not be frustrated. We should not hate waking up. We should not hate going to our job. We should not hate the people that we're around. Those are things that makes the journey. That's your life. You're living that. If you get up and you hate your job and you hate the people you work around and we got to change. It is not as important what you do, where you do it, and who you do it for, as it is how you do it and why you do it. How you work is who you are. How you work is a definition of who you are. And then why you work is the catalyst. It is the determination of what your path is and where you're headed, guys, right? Education always pays its dividends. Benjamin Franklin. Education in what, Mr. Boston? So I understand, listen, I understand what you're saying, and I'm not discrediting anything you're saying. And I really appreciate you being here and being a part of the chat. But we have to this is what I'm talking about when I talk about communication. We have to speak to everyone as individuals. We have to communicate to individuals about their dreams. We have to communicate to individuals about their path and their growth. Guys, this is only a 30-minute walk and talk. It is 5:07. It's time for me to turn around, get back to my family. I appreciate everyone being here. If you haven't done so yet, please drop a thumbs up, a like, please subscribe, comment, and share. I love having you guys here. I'm on every morning from 4:30 to 5. I may get back on in the evening, but I haven't set up anything to do it permanently yet. Mr. Boston, peace to you, brother. It's always been fun. Thank you. Please subscribe. I love you to reach out. I love to speak to you again in the morning. Thank you guys so much for being up and getting started. Let's have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Again, great day, guys. Thank you so much. Take care.